It is September 30th, 2016. We're here at 5059 Biltmore in San Diego, California, 92117. We're here on the rooftop. We're going to go ahead and enter into the beginning of the main sewer through the 3-inch vent pipe. This is the original 3-inch cast iron vent. This will lead directly down to the beginning of the sewer for the two toilets that are back to back with each other. There is a clean out and outside the bathroom windows, which is essentially leading from the shower pan and bathtub drain. So there's a small 2-inch clean out there, but we're going to start from this pipe since our camera and push rod are a little larger to initially try to go through that. Here we have a little T-junction in the vent. This is what continues across that little pipe to be the vent for the sinks, as well as the tub and the shower stall. Here we're going down this vertical pipe, and we're now entering into the double fixture fitting here that collects both toilets there from both ends. So this is where you can see there's some debris that's been flushed down the toilet there and snagged on the pipe, probably some type of towelette or paper product. There's a little piece of red string or something caught on that as well. Okay, we've got a little bit of flakes of cast iron debris right there. So that's what that little stuff was, but nothing atypical for the age of the pipe at this point. So now going across the horizontal sewer line. This is the original cast iron pipe. And as of right now, the line is clear and has very little deposits or scale built up on the walls of the pipe. Overall healthy condition to this point so far. Okay, right there you can see there's a kind of a gray area on the screen on the vertical top of the pipe, and that's going to be one of the clean outs that was put in originally. It's called a two-way clean out. It was not brought to surface. They typically don't. We're not allowed to use these anymore because it's not a directional fitting, but that's what that little gray kind of opening is. That's the vertical pipe that's going to have a brass plug threaded in for an access into the sewer. But again, this would be right beyond the foundation wall of the house, and we cannot see that exposed or brought to surface enough for access. Okay, we're still in the cast iron pipe and it still looks good. Little bit of debris caked on the top of the pipe there, but again, overall healthy condition here so far still. Okay, here we've got a little Y junction or a T junction. This may have been one of the original property line cleanouts, and they may have run it like this. So coming from the back side, that could be where the original property line cleanout was leading down from for access into the line. And or if for some reason the laundry drain that's in the garage, which is separate from the house, was running across and not coming in through the foundation wall of the house to tie in, then that could be where this line empties into and connects into there. So we're going to go ahead and sweep through this turn. Okay, so that T-junction we saw laying on its side there to make that turn, that may have just been a fitting that they had to use, because now we're actually looking at the real true property line clean out. So this right here is where the horizontal pipe is hitting a T-junction, and upwards is where the original property line clean out was, and then the pipe is going to make a full-on downward turn and become vertical. So we're going to attempt to make this turn here. This is a full 90-degree turn, so sometimes our camera and the spring can't make it initially. We have to sometimes use a different piece, but we were able to make part of that turn. We'll see if we can continue beyond it. Sometimes we have to switch cameras to try to get one that's got a little bit of flexier push rod to it, so we'll see if we can make this. But we're looking downward right now, and again, we're going to attempt to see if we can push through this, but yeah, this is a very stiff push rod so that we can go to long distance, but unfortunately, then it hangs up on 90-degree turns like that is used right here. So we're going to go ahead and pause the video and try another camera's push rod to see if it, being a little less stiff, can maneuver by, past, and down this vertical pipe to where it's going to then retransition to horizontal. Okay, so we've tried now an additional 4 cameras to get by this vertical section of pipe past the property line clean out, which is what we're staring at here. So we actually have 2 different cameras right now in the line. We tried 2 previous. They just won't go beyond this. So what you're looking at here, we're pulling back one of the cameras, and you're looking at the push rod and coming up to the spring and camera of head of the next unit. And again, we just cannot make these turns and get it to travel far down the line, because it's a matter of basically having to deal with the flexibility, but then losing the strength of the stiffness of the push rod to be able to maneuver it down. So there's no perfect medium for making this many turns at such a long distance. So we cannot get past this point. However, this property line clean out is going to be just in front of the city sidewalk, and just beyond the city sidewalk is another clean out that the city put in to replace the line for their lateral connections from the street back to the sidewalk. So we're going to go ahead and move our equipment just over to the laundry drain. The water that we do currently have running, that you see running by right there, that is from the laundry. So the T-junction that we saw earlier, which we'll back up to here for a second, right here, is just a fitting they laid on their side to create the angle, but the water from the laundry does come back into the house and then travel out. It may even encounter the kitchen line, and then those 2 connect in off the back of the main off the toilets and then into this line. So we're going to go ahead and pause the video again while we go ahead and move our equipment over to the laundry to see if we can just verify that that line passing from the garage to the house looks okay. We do have the water running through, so we know it's draining okay for now. And then we'll move to the front of the house where the clean out is that the city put in, and inspect the rest of the line. So we'll pause the video. Okay, so we've gone ahead and pushed in a very small 1/2-inch camera through the laundry drain, and we've shut the water off. We've been able to travel approximately 34 feet across, where on the screen says 50 feet, almost 51, but you got to take away from the vent. This is about as far as we can get. You can see this is the turn. So this line here, that's just some food hanging down, a little debris, not roots. As we push forward here, we kind of are going into the turn, and that should be the drop where it's dumping into the main sewer. With such a small camera, again, and push rod, we're not able to push beyond this with the distance we've gone out, but we are going to go ahead and pull back on the line here. So this is the original 2-inch cast iron line. So you can see that there's obviously a little bit of buildup and some small pieces of debris, but overall the pipe is very good open. We're going to go ahead and push forward just a little bit. Just some debris hanging down, not anything serious. So this 2-inch line is nice and open. Again, the kitchen line might also be connecting into this. There is no clean out for the kitchen, and the vent would not be accessible because it has to go around a window with multiple turns. So but the line is open. The kitchen may eventually have to be snaked if it ever backs up, but based on what we see here from the laundry, this run all the way off where it's going to connect in as well looks really good and open. We're now coming back up the vertical. So we've got water droplets hanging on the end of the camera lens, so we couldn't see that there. So here we are here on the rooftop here. That is the pitch of the roof here, and this is the flat top here above the garage, and this is the vent, and there's into our backyard. So we're going to go ahead and pause the video now and move down to the front of the house where the city clean out is, inspect from there out. Okay, we're now here at the front of the house. It's dark outside. We've got a bright light shining on here. So this is the clean out that the city has put in from their sewer line. And again, as we pan back across the sidewalk in the grass here, that's going to be where the first property line clean out was. It was just never brought to the surface, which they never usually were back when these homes were built. So we've got a short distance. We could see down that vertical pipe was okay. We could not see from essentially underneath the whole sidewalk. So what we're using right now is a pan and tilt camera that has the ability to rotate, and it's not going to be able to go in reverse, but as we drop down this city cleanout that was put in, this vertical pipe is leading to our horizontal line, and so we're now going to be able to hang our camera right here, and we're going to be able to maneuver it. And so as you see, as we turn it, we're going to try to get the right angle here. We apologize. Okay, here we go. So, little black line is a protective skid. So as you see here, we've got green pipe, and that is the continuation of the line, which we're going to inspect shortly here. Now, as we go the opposite way here and look backwards, this is actually the looking down the line under the sidewalk, essentially. So again, we can't push that way because the fitting, the T-fitting that we've hit, makes you flow only in the direction away from the home. And so, but as we look backwards, we can see that there is a clean connection and that the pipe does look completely open there. So that's kind of what we wanted to see, because sometimes this green pipe where it's connecting to the piece behind it, which is either clay or cast iron, is misaligned, or there could be roots or something in there. So it is clean. So we're now going to rotate the camera back again. So now we're pointing in the direction forward. We're going to push the camera in so it's laying in the horizontal. Oops, or kind of flip-flopped there. So now we're looking in the wrong direction because of the angle, so we're going to go ahead and get the camera to self-level. And here it is looking down the line from the clean out. So this is all new plastic pipe that the city has put in. This appears to be a liner. In fact, you can see right there the writing, black typed out writing. It says TPI lining supply. So this was a liner that was pulled through. There was probably clay pipe here before. Could have been cast, but probably was clay or concrete. And rather than dig all the streets up, they were able to push these liners through from the junction where they had to dig up, put this clean out that we're in, out to the street, where this way they don't have to dig everything up. So that's why there's little rough edges there every once in a while. And then there you can see the other typewritten writing on this connection here, and then it's dropped, and now we're into the line going across where all the other neighbors and everybody else is draining into in the system. So essentially, this is all new plastic pipe, you could say, in a way. We've pushed down a little bit. We've got a little edge right here. This is a shared line now. We're just going to kind of look up here. So this is another T-junction right there from another house or another tie-in that they had to do. So essentially, we have no problems with the line here. Everything is in good working order, and the main sewer line has no root intrusions, which is good because there's a couple good-sized trees in the front yard, and the rest of the cast iron everything is draining out and working good. Again, it is all original cast iron, so the small drains on occasion may need to be snaked and cleared, but that's just going to be small localized stoppage just due to the debris that builds up in the system naturally with every home. So other than that, the main sewer, which is the big concern, is in good working order, and everything else is connected clean. So that concludes this recording for this property.